After this, I want you to call me the locksmith because I am about to give you the absolute keys to the kingdom. I have helped a few people get some pretty amazing internships. Now, I'm not gonna blow up their spots, but they know who they are. And I want you to know, I'm proud of you guys. If anyone's watching this and wants the tips to 100% land and keep an internship in the music industry, in this video, I'm going to be more real with you than you could have ever imagined. So what's happening, fam? Miami here with JST, and I've decided to give you the keys to the kingdom. Why? Because I truly want you to succeed and pursue your dreams to the fullest. Also, because now that I have my own studio, I'm never gonna intern again, so I might as well pass the info along. Wax on, wax off. Seeing as tons of engineers are ready to enter the workforce, I figured it was time I made a comment about this topic. Speaking of comments, make sure you leave one below if you have any questions, leave a like if you enjoy the video, and subscribe as I'm trying to reach the goal of 50,000 of you wonderful people by the end of this year. My transition game is crazy. These are the 5 biggest keys to landing an internship in a studio. But to be honest, these points apply to other areas of the music industry as well. Number 1, make yourself visible. You basically want to work your way into their inner circle. Sounds creepy, right? But let me explain what I mean by that. Studio owners only have so much free time in their day. So if you see them posting things online or commenting on something, it's something that is 100% worth their time to talk about. Find the common interest that you both share. Is the person a fan of knee gear? Do you see a JST plugin on the screen of a video they just posted? Don't just be a lurker. Leave a comment, like the video. No, but seriously, leave a comment and like the video. Transition game's still crazy. The overall point is to make yourself visible. Become part of the algorithm. Once you leave a comment here or there, don't be surprised when they start doing the same to you. Post pictures that show what you're capable of so they can see what you're up to. You become less of a picture in a bubble and more of a human to them. Even ask a question once in a while if they seem like the type of person that would answer. So later down the line, when you say, hey, I'm looking for an internship, they already have some idea of who you are. And even if someone else might be slightly more qualified, they'll probably go with you because you're familiar. Just don't be too extra with it. I don't want 100 studio owners hitting me up like, curse you, Miami! Another pro tip is if you share a friend and they interact with that person, nudge yourself into a conversation. Now, if your name ever comes up, you have someone who will go to bat for you. So yes, the first step is to become visible. Number 2, avoid awkward interactions. I'm going to break it down to you from the exact first in-person interaction you will have meeting the person you want to intern with. The fist bump. I'm laughing, but I'm serious. Unless you see them extend their arm for a handshake, put your fist out as a safe bet. You know that weird thing when someone's going for a fist bump and the other person does a handshake and they kind of grab the person's hand and it goes like this back and forth? Yeah, we don't want any of that. Put your fist out to greet people. That way, if they grab your hand, they're the weirdos. Be unwavering. They'll eventually switch to a fist bump. Another awkward interaction is speaking when you're not being spoken to. Learn to read the room. I'm going to give you guys a real story from a pretty intense session with an A-list artist. It was a hip-hop session, and anyone that knows what's up basically knows that means there's gonna be a party. There were tons of people in the room hanging, kicking it, drinking, etc., and they were going from track to track. Now, there was a new engineer that was interning, and it was his 3rd gig. As they were going through songs, everyone was celebrating how the track was coming along, and we're listening to the new verse the rapper laid down. Right in the middle of playing it back, he paused the music and said, "Yeah, that's not it." Now, all eyes turned to this guy, and there were some very angry people in the room. I'm not gonna say what even happened here, but just know this guy never got called back again. This actually leads to my 3rd point to help you land an internship. 3, don't be overly opinionated. You ever go on a dating app and before you even evaluate their full profile, you see their political preference or some overly opinionated statement, so you just get out of there ASAP? Swipe. It's kind of the same thing. I live in the land of neutrality in these kinds of situations. Before the person you're interning for has a chance to assess your skill and worth, you don't want them distracted by something you don't see eye to eye on. This can fall in the category of music, DAWs, gear, companies, and especially people. You might not like someone, but you have no idea if that person has a good relationship with them. Or you might like someone and they have it in for that person. Really quick way to have someone draw an opinion about you for absolutely no reason. And another tip on the subject, they don't care what you've done or how you do it. If they use a certain method, guess what? Now you also use that method, or you're gonna learn it really fast. That takes us getting to our next key point. Number 4, be a good hang. I don't know if this is one that can be taught, but I tried. Whether you realize it or not, I've already given you a bunch of tips on being a good hang with steps 2 and 3. Don't be overly opinionated, avoid awkward interactions, and be easy to talk to. Pro tip, when bands are around, spot the person that seems the most approachable and become cool with them. See if you can get them anything. Be the person they confide in when things are going good or bad. You're kind of like the inside source of what's happening at this point. This leads to you being cool with the rest of the band. When your future boss sees that clients like you, they see you as an asset because certain bands don't like having anyone around, period, in the studio. The thing you have to realize is the person you're trying to work for has already gone through all of these things. The reason bands want to record with them is because they're already a good hang. They figured out this part and now it's up to you. Number 5, follow instruction. This should be obvious, but it's the reason that most people don't last in an internship. They can't keep up with the workload, overpromise and underdeliver, and try to do things their own way instead of learning the way their new potential boss does things. Every studio has a different system and setup that you need to get acclimated to. Like I mentioned before, maybe there's a certain DAW they want you to use. It doesn't mean you have to stop using your DAW of choice on your own time, but you have to do the task they ask you in their DAW of choice. This is a weird phenomenon I've only ever seen in audio. If I went for a video editing job and they said, you have to be able to use Adobe Premiere, I wouldn't respond, sorry, I'm gonna have to do that in DaVinci Resolve. Even though I love Reaper, if a job requires me to use Pro Tools, I'm gonna pull up my big boy pants, have a shower argument about Pro Tools nudge feature not being the same as Reaper's slip editing mode, and carry on with my life. Make sure to always hand in before deadlines also. The earlier you hand stuff in, the more people are gonna count on you. You will become an indispensable asset and start to get paid what you're worth as an assistant, hopefully sooner than later. So let's go through the keys to the king. Hold on, let me find it. Let's go through the keys of the kingdom. Make yourself visible is number 1. 2, avoid awkward interactions. 3, don't be overly opinionated. 4, be a good hang. And 5, follow instructions. After step 1, you'll pretty much set yourself into the door. After that, your behavior, work ethic, and actions will all determine your fate. But I have faith in you. These tips will help get you onto your path in audio, and you'll finally be able to work on some of the projects you've wanted all along. And that's what we're all here for, right? If you're an engineer on the come up, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. You only have to do it one time. And tap that bell for notification so when a video drops, you know the location. Till next time, I'm out of here. Mic drop! Except as engineers, we know I would never really drop this, even if it is a piece of sure. Later!